In normal times, every summer, thousands of people flock to their local agricultural shows. For the uninitiated, it looks like a beauty pageant for cattle and sheep mixed with some fairground rides. With this in mind, we decided to delve into the world of agricultural shows.
Fairground rides.
For a bit of riding goes on, alright, and the music starts at these things. But
Hey Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey Mickey. And then the DJ's always like, yeah, a couple of girls looking for a bit of Mickey tonight. So.
Inappropriate local DJs, yes.
So these shows, this is supposed to be like a showcase for food.
It's ag porn.
Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Animals. Food producers. Oh, look at Class Tractor. Where'd you get the chainsaw? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Flexing.
Well, yeah.
For agricultural people.
But you need to find out the new crack with tractors.
Yeah,
now.
but like there's like, Milan and Paris Fashion Week for those into fashion.
Yeah.
And then like, for farmers.
There's the Tullamore Show.
Yeah.
Ivork,
Duala.
Bansha.
Yeah, all these shows. Yeah.
What would be your local one, Maura?
There's the Royal Mead Agricultural Show, which is in the Trim Porch Grounds the first week of every September. So that's our local one. That's the main one in Mead. But then there's a couple of ones. There's the Loud Show. There's a couple in Monaghan, Castleblaney Show, and then the Virginia Show as well in Cavan.
I'd love to go to the Castleblaney one.
Oh, yeah. I say the amount of suede boots on display up there is just frightening. Frightening, I'd say.
Yeah, it's on the side of a hill, and it's crazy.
We have experience with these types of
We
shows.
do have experience. Back in the day when I was a hurley maker and the two Johnnies were just starting, I brought Smacks with me. I hired Smacks for the day.
Man, the most unprofessional environment. I've worked loads of jobs, but so we rocked up, and obviously at all these shows, it's ran by a man on a quad, right? Simple as he's got to be in a million places at once, so he needs a quad, and his feet don't touch the ground all day. He just drives, flying, fucking business. Kids running around, he's like flying around his quad, and
he's got a walkie-talkie like a gun.
Yeah, in a holster.
He's got a high-vis vest and a pea cap.
Yeah,
and it's owled and it's bet.
Yeah.
And he's just John Wayne for the day.
He's purposely dirtied the hat just to make you think, oh, this lad's working. He means business. So we pulled in the gate in Johnny's van. Now, in fairness, if I was running the business, no disrespect to you, Johnny, I would have probably had nicer van, maybe a sign on it or anything. Picture Delby and Rodney in the 3-wheeled van, right? Now, Johnny's had 4 wheels, barely, right? So we pull in the Berlingo. It's battered, right? Johnny pulls in, leans out the window to your man on the quad bike. He's flying around. Hey, whereabouts are we? He's like, over there, Johnny, that side. Now, this place is thronged. There must be 1,000 stalls, I'd say, is there?
There was at least 10,000 people in each day, yeah.
So eventually, right, we find our pitch, and beside us on one side was like a pet farm from Care. So that was grand. We knew them. We had a bit of crack with them or whatever. But they had a lovely setup. They had pull-up signs and
a truck.
Real colourful. They had a truck. All this proper stuff, and then there was like a lovely stall selling something else. I said, Johnny, what's our setup if we got? He pulled the clothes hanger that he had, right? Because he couldn't open the back doors.
Yeah.
That didn't work. So he had to pull a clothes hanger that pulled a string that opened the back door of the van. And then he opened the 2 back doors, put this plastic table in front of us, took out a sheet of A4 paper with a Sharpie, and wrote the sizes of the hurls and the prices, sellotaped it to the table, and then said, now, where we go. No signs, no not. It was, in fairness, I was hungover as well the same day. Fucking sweat was beating on me. We done some business. We done more business than any of those lads in fancy tents. These lads had like marquees and gazebos, the whole lot. We had
wasting their time.
Nothing. 2 doors and a dream. That's all we had out the back of the van.
I wasn't selling gazebos. Selling Hurleys.
Maura, I swear to God.
There was a queue, and we'd no queuing system.
A queuing system? What are you talking about? You wrote the price list out by hand with one piece of sellotape and stuck it down.
An A4 page.
We didn't have a queuing system. We didn't have fucking any system. It was just that people would cram it. And then because
it was a picnic table.
Yeah.
A hole in the middle for the umbrella. It was a picnic table. That's what we had.
And just he parked the van up close enough.
And opened the 2 side doors of the van. Or the back doors of the van.
That was security.
Yeah.
Security was the doors of the van, because kids are, it's like the ploughing. They'll try and rob you,
Did you sell many Harleys, or?
Did we? What came home? The van was around 10 ton going. We could have lifted the van, threw it on our shoulders and carried it home. Sold out, there wasn't a bit of wood to be got. Johnny, we did. He even brought me for a pint to celebrate. We pulled into Cashel on the way home, but we had a pint. It was the hardest day's work I ever put down.
Come on.
The sweat was beading out me. No, but I mean just from selling. Like.
Yeah.
But you were letting me in then and all the tricks. It was like, you know, 'cause some lad would come up and be like, oh, I want a size 30. Johnny would be like, give him 2 of them. Like, we're fucking be here all day. If you give them like 5 or 6 hurls, they'll go. And then like they'll hand them back and there'll be one gone. Like.
Yeah.
So that was, the peak thing was secure. I was on security.
Yeah.
Johnny was on shit talk. I was just purely on security. But it was an experience. I'm glad we went.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we have this story to tell. But what a carry on, lads. There was all sorts of stuff going on at that show. But like, I'd never been to one of them before. I thought it was like, oh, you know, it's about livestock and lads showing. But like, then there was like around 200 trucks.
Yeah.
And lads were just wanking. Just lads,
Literally.
lads were just, Mora.
There was more tires kicked.
It's amazing. I credit to all the boys who are mad into trucks. It's real cool to look at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, like, I was talking to one lad and I was like, where'd you come from? He was like, Monaghan.
Yeah.
He must have covered a truck in Clingfilm driving down. Because when he got to Dualla, that's a 3-hour journey. When he got to Dualla, there wasn't a speck of dirt on it.
Spotless.
Yeah.
And the artwork has been mad. All spray painted
Murals of Johnny Cash on the back of
Yeah.
a
Johnny
truck.
Cash with wings and a can of cider in his hand.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
this stuff.
Some cool stuff. Now, like, there was obviously, that's a big part of it, is like all the trucks and they all park over and lads just go looking at them and stuff.
They're just mad for it. Just asking each other questions about trucks.
Yeah.
I wish I was that into Anthem.
Yeah, I know. I wish I cared enough about anything.
There's the kind of classic stuff then, thrashing.
Yeah, I never knew what that was. Is it like they'd be like, oh, Threshing Festival?
Yeah, you're separating the stalks from the corn using the old traditional methods.
It's hardly a festival, is it?
No, it used to be.
I mean, electric picnic, that's a festival.
It used to be a big thing, like the threshing, like, you know, because everybody'd have to come together, like,
Okay.
like 100 years ago, 150 years
And
ago.
now they just call it like the Threshing Festival. Even like, does
Yeah.
there still be threshing at it?
Yeah, because it would have been like, you know, it would have been the occasion that everybody would have tea and sandwiches out in the field and be cutting the corn
Yeah.
by hand. So, you know.
My favourite thing about the Dualla show was that they made, like, you know, for publicity beforehand. When you drove on the motorway, there'd be a massive minion.
Oh, yeah, with the
Just made out
bales.
bales. I was like, that's pretty cool.
It was cool.
That's art.
It was a real. Those shows are always a real mix. There could be a tannoy going, just playing "Rock Me Mama Like a Wagon Wheel," and then that song would come on again 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
And there'd be a stall of country music. There'd often be live bands. And it's so funny, like lads are, there's some 4-piece band with like banjos and stuff get up playing, they're like, hello, where are the Mickeys, whatever, and they get up and start playing, and then halfway through their first song, a tractor pull will start right behind the stage and completely blow them out of it.
I love the layout. Like, I don't know who lays out these things, but like, we were selling here, and then there was a pet farm, and I swear to God, I could have picked up a hurl and threw it into a wrestling ring. There was a full scale wrestling ring, and then like, we had a quiet moment, so like, we're chatting to your man, and like, what's the crack that? Like, why? Like, what are you doing with the wrestling? Like?
Proper like lads with their tops off.
Because you can't pay in or anything. Obviously, like,
Oh, you paying the main gate?
oh yeah, but and then the boys would have got cut over the wrestling boys.
I suppose they would have got
Because
a
they
fee.
were wrestling for around 7 hours, like, for the finish. Like, they were just like kind of like trash talking each other. I'd say they had an ounce of energy left. They were like, "No, come on, I know your mother." So the boys were like, 7 hours. If I get thrown one more time on this wrestling ring, I think I'm going to die.
They stopped for a carvery in the middle. Like, they're wrestling.
Your man in the quad bike was dropping them over dinner. I guarantee you, boys, he'll want it another 4 hours to go. Beef, was it? Undertaker, was it beef? Lads with painted faces. Like, huh? I didn't know you'd been to the bacon at all. Yeah, go on, take that away with you there.
They're there with the tops off, and there was a fucking truck pulling exhibition right beside him in the muck and the smoke, like.
The pet farm, the other side, ain't getting this shit frightened out. I swear to God.
That is brilliant.
Because I was trying to get Johnny to explain this to me on the way. He picked him up and I was like, what am I? Because anywhere I go, I like to know, like, what's it going to look like?
Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm just, and then he was just explaining it to me. He's like, yeah, and then there'll be food, there might be country music, there's trucks, cows. I was like, oh, I'll leave it. My brain is nailed for enough today. I was out last night.
And then you got all the bacon and the food.
I didn't even get a look at that.
Oh, well, there wouldn't be... In Bansha now, there'd be big stalls where there'd be a whole like marquee of all the produce to be laid out.
Okay.
So you'd enter a tart, more would enter a tart, and then they'd come around and they'd vote, they'd rate your tart.
Yeah. It's the original Bake Off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it'd be the same for who has the best tomatoes, who has the best cooking apples, who has the best spuds. Then there'd always be rumours going around that some fucker had bought theirs like in the shop.
Ah, right. A black market for the bakery.
Yeah.
What always amazes me at these shows is like the enthusiasm of the stewards. Now, I've been at the ploughing, like I've only ever been to ploughing if we were working at it or whatever, but like the fucking stewards love it. And when it's raining, then they love it even more then, like. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, there's a lad blocked in. I swear they dug the wheels in, like, just so your man to get blocked. They just need they need to just, once they put that high vis on, they need something to go wrong, like.
It's like being Batman.
Yeah, they want to be panicking.
They need a big high vis in the sky.
Yeah. And they're so enthusiastic when you pull in. And they're like, where am I going to park? And they're like,
They're waving the hands. Like they're landing a fucking fighter plane.
over there. Just there. You've already parked and you've set up your stall. Your man's still fucking winding you in.
It is, I swear. The longer they've been standing there, the better.
Yeah, they want to pay.
I came down Wednesday just to get into it.
Put myself in the mood. Speaking of shows,
You wouldn't want to start cold on the day.
they done a full. You know those bands. What are they called?
For
Detention bands, like for warming up. They're using the gym,
yeah.
They used to be doing them in Ulster when they're doing the old backing in, like. But
then you have to drive across a load of bobbly grass.
Yeah.
We have to drive across 2 acres. Yeah. That's brilliant.
How we got that van out that day is beyond me. But the only other show I have any experience of is the National Dairy Show.
Yes.
Now, I know a big part of these shows is like the livestock section. Man, some prep going into that.
Oh, yeah.
Lads out like
washing the cows.
giving the cow fade, like.
Yeah, give him. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, did actually get like, because we were stopped asking your man, we're like, oh, what's the crack? And he was like, I'll shave him in real tight, like, and then leave him a bit more hair on the front. They were like Mohicaning him, Mohicaning like the cow, like, so that he'd have a straight line from obviously his arse to
his head,
yeah, or whatever, yeah.
They'd be kind of shaving in to accentuate the muscles.
Yeah.
Make him look better. Your man was very good at it too. He was dinky, wasn't
he was tasty. And they were saying that they stayed the night before.
Yeah.
In the place, like, just so that the animal would be calm, like, and all
Get the
that.
cow used to it.
So fair play to them. There's some effort.
Lad, an All-Ireland team wouldn't get the prep.
Jesus Christ. And we were just going around like unsure of what we were being paid to be there to do.
It's great crack though.
I think we raffle off, like, do we raffle a tractor or something?
I think
we raffle a tractor. We gave the keys to someone anyway.
Great prize.
Probably some lad down in Cork now been like, I always wondered where that tractor disappeared to.
The main thing that Smacks took from it was the Eurovision was held here.
It's in Mill Street.
Yeah.
The Eurovision was held in a gigantic shed.
Yeah.
Which now hosts the National
Dairy
Show.
Yeah.
Animals.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean from a sound perspective, like.
Hey, it must have been troublesome.
Galvanised roof, like.
Yeah.
Like if we were doing a gig now, like, you know, our manager would go along and be like, no, boys, no, galvanised roof. And back in like 1996, we're like, it's ideal. Have I got a place for you? Yeah. Yeah.
How did the fucking Eurovision end up in Mill Street?
Where did they all drive? Like, where did they drive and stay? And
They flew into Cork. Your man must be some operator.
oh yeah, whoever owns that's a fair detail. I'd say.
Vintage cars,
Oh, yeah.
vintage machinery, old yokes from mangling turnips now, and
Yeah,
that's what you want. Things that I'd be looking at them, I don't even know what they do. Old ploughs. So some lad with a horse ploughing a field. Just he doesn't need to.
we've an old plough in our garden.
You do.
Yeah.
Pity you wouldn't use it.
I know. I'll be honest. Found out it was a plough around a year ago. I was like, going to move that thing in the garden. That's a plough, Johnny. That's like I was like, all right. Oh yeah. No.
Well, she'll leave it there if you want so.
Cool enough, like I wouldn't. It's on a little cement, like plinth in the garden.
I have to give a mention to. I've been looking these up. Aradlen in Cork.
Right.
They have a kind of a float segment in theirs. A bit of a parade, but they have it around the GA field. So in 2012, there's a video on YouTube. They reenacted Titanic. So hang on.
Of course it is.
So there's one. I don't know exactly know what it is. It seems to be a trailer that has two parts, and that's pulled along the field, and then it crashes into a smaller trailer that has white truck canvas pulled over it, which is the iceberg.
Okay, right? Okay.
And then there's over the tannoy. They're playing Celine Dion, the song from.
Stop.
Yeah, they're playing it, and then there's a lot of people on the Titanic as such, and it's all painted up to look like the Titanic, and then this quad comes across the field with a ring of white MDF around it. And they're like, where are the lifeboats? And then, just as the chorus comes, you're here, there's nothing. And the quad / lifeboat comes across the field. And then people, they get down out of the Titanic and they like walk across the field and get into the lifeboat. But then after a while, somehow the back of the trailer is able to tip. And so it tips up in the air as if the ship is breaking and sinking.
Oh, jeez.
And a lot of people get off the trailer / Titanic and lie down on the ground and pretend they're drowning.
Who played DiCaprio?
Some lad from
Meryton.
I can't make it out, but it's on YouTube.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that.